Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. We got a video today from Poor Man's Podcast.
I'm here 30 minutes before the
Can you
flight.
please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm decided that you ain't gonna let
Personal space? He's still on the other side of the counter.
me check in.
Make me check you in. Make
You
me
literally
check you
work
in.
for a
Make
company
me
that
check
I
you
bought
in.
a
Make
plane
me
ticket.
I feel like this is a lot of young people, millennials nowadays. You know, like they have a job, but then when you want them to do their actual job, they go, yeah, I don't want to do it.
Get forward. Check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
These two got fired.
And they instantly brought out the camera to start recording this gentleman. Why?
The caption on this post, this video reads, he showed up 30 minutes before his flight, and these Frontier airline employees refused to check him in because he didn't agree with the $25 agent assist fee to check in, even though he said he would pay it. And so he said he would pay it, but he said that he didn't agree. They caught an attitude. This is, if you guys have been online, a few of you have probably seen this, right? But there's something worth talking about right here. Let's keep listening.
Made that flight. You didn't. And you think we go?
You know what? People can't show their disdain for a fee nowadays. He's like, just because I don't like the fee, yeah, I'll take care of it because I need to get on the flight.
Oh, you're gonna check me in. I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
Yeah,
paid
I paid for a
$25 for
ticket.
an agent assist fee, and you check in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just
And
said
you
that
thought you
I
were gonna get on your flight.
I
And
just
you thought
said
you
that
were gonna
I
get on your
would
flight.
pay the
And you thought you were gonna
$25.
get on your flight. And you
Pulling your phone out,
Right.
being loud and very wrong, as somebody who's supposed to be servicing a customer, is just crazy.
I was always trained, you treat the customer like king almost, if the customer is wrong in a wrong sense, truly wrong, yeah, you don't have to, bend over backwards, but there's still a thing called customer service. You want to give them a nice experience. You want to be nice and cordial. I mean, someone bitching a little bit about a $25 fee. I'm sure a lot of people bitch about that fee because it sounds a little stupid.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting
Again, they both have their cameras on too, so it's not even one.
me check. You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you just not in your personal space.
You're in
This
my
is
face.
not your
I work
personal
here. This
space.
is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't got worried about it. We ain't got worried.
You do, because you got fired. There's a lack of understanding when you are employed by a company. And this is kind of the problem with business and not understanding the role you have to play when you're working for a company, right? The customer is always right.
Well, the other side of it is all these entrepreneurs and, all of these hustlers and all these have no sense of customer service because they're not true entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs can't just go out there crapping on people because we need to build connections and bridges to expand our network.
assume more responsibility. Even when you're wrong, you take on responsibility. Even when they're wrong, you take on responsibility. I know.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
Too much coffee.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home. I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in for no reason whatsoever.
Can you just go to the other counter where they're checking in? Is it just those two?
I've already bought a ticket.
Dude right there chiming in as well. I don't know if anything happened to him, right? But, he's not recording and escalating the situation.
I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Listen, this whole crew, if it was me, would be reprimanded. They would face some
Yeah, why did not anybody else call the gentleman over and help them out? I'm also confused by this whole staff.
type of consequences. So let's focus on these two right here, right? These two women. And the reason why I want to do this is because I don't think people realize how this is detrimental to their own image when they do.
And the community's image. Again, you always represent your culture and your community. Always. Because why? You wear it on your face. right? You wear it on your face, you wear it on you. You are that community. So if anybody from your community does bad things, everybody just sees it as part of your community. Especially when you see a lot of it. Then now people associate these behaviors with your community, and then people get upset and say it's racist. But is it really racist when this is a big part of the community?
Stuff like this is going to be online forever, and it feeds into a certain stereotype. And at this point, you can't get called out because here you have a statue, this massive 12-foot statue, bronze statue of a black woman, hands on her waist. We just talked about this. She's fed up, and it's feeding the same stereotype. And so why would you want to continue representing yourself in this way? I even had a conversation, this was like a week ago, where my wife was talking about the attitudes of other fellow black women, and she was at a Starbucks or something like that. And then I saw this video. We're going to continue with that. But I saw this video by this woman who says, I'm so tired of black women's attitude. And I sent this to her. And I'm seeing more black women speaking on this particular topic. And the crazy thing now is you can't say you guys are just calling out something that doesn't exist, when now there's a literal statue to represent everything you see.
I'm so tired of black women and their attitudes, and us just having to overlook it and ignore it and just act like it's commonplace. It's not. It doesn't make any sense for you to wake up every morning and just be pissed off at the world, at people you don't even know.
Right?
I'm not saying every black woman has an attitude, but I am saying if you meet a woman out in the world and you don't know her, never said anything to her, never seen her a day in your life, and she has an attitude, it's going to be a black woman that does that. I'm not talking about Karens. Karens have interacted with someone and they feel like they've been wronged. Whether they really have or not is beside the point. Right. A black woman could be a cashier at Target and you walk up and she got an attitude. You just put your stuff on the conveyor belt and she got an attitude.
Guys, again,
I've experienced it.
I'm noticing more black women speaking out about this. And she's right. It's not every black woman, because you know, all people will come in and say they suffer from the same delusion of like, all women are like this. There's no good women whatsoever. And you're sitting there thinking that you are a good person, unless if you can agree that all men are like that as well, right? The main issue here is that there's a significant portion of women, if they're not out here acting this way, they're actually thinking to themselves, there's nothing wrong.
Well, there's also they are the biggest demographic of online, right? It's the loudest, the worst ones that post the most and have the most airtime on YouTube, Instagram, all these things. Why? Because these things go viral.
With acting this way. I mean, obviously the women who I keep in my life, and I don't put up with the like crazy attitudes from anybody, but obviously my wife and the women in my family, like I don't deal with this. But when I go out, I have experienced this, and you know you have to some extent. Anyways, just keep listening.
So that's not the same as a Karen. I'm talking about an unsolicited, unwarranted, unjustified attitude is going to come from a black woman. Not all black women, but if you get it, she going to be black. I pretty much guarantee that. What y'all so angry about? What are you so mad about? What are you so ready to fight about? Then y'all say, it's hard being a black woman. Well, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a black woman too. And no, it's not hard. Not just being a black woman, existing as a black woman is not hard.
Uh-oh.
But y'all meeting the world with anger and animosity.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's why you getting that back. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's what you make your life harder on yourself with how you portray yourself and how you treat the world.
You feel like the world is beating you up. I meet the world with kindness and smiles and grace. And you know what I get back? Just
Same.
that. I'm so sick of y'all attitudes. And it's usually when I'm the customer and you are representing the company, you're working. It ain't my business to set a friendly tone here, but I'll do it. I'll do it. But can you at least meet me? If it was left up to me, y'all just wouldn't have no husband or no job.
Damn. Wouldn't have no husband or nor job, she said. Serving straight shot. Yeah, I agree with everything she said. And you know, if you are a black woman, like, and you do reflect that positivity and you smile, because there's plenty of women out here who say, I don't think I owe anybody a smile. If you do that, you just,
you know, I walk around with the resting bitch face too. I even have women coming up to me now and saying, you should smile. Oh, I should smile. Oh, you are allowed to tell me I should smile, but when I tell you, oh, you might look cute if you smiled, oh, you should smile more, then I'm the misogynistic one, huh? Oh.
Stand out so much more. Let's read a few comments here. Top comment says, yeah, a lot of people really need to heal. People carrying around their own past trauma or learned trauma from someone else. I think learned trauma from someone else seems more likely when it comes to
The trauma osmosis. Like that's what I call it. Trauma osmosis. When one woman's trauma equates to all women's trauma, that's trauma osmosis right there.
what we see. Because online, what you see is that you have a lot of women who aren't even experiencing the things that they are complaining
No, they
about
aren't.
on a regular basis. They're not experiencing these things.
We had that one video of the one woman saying, oh, all of the people around me and my friends, I've never really got treated badly, but men treat my wife, my sisters bad, my friends bad, and all the other women around me, they get treated horribly, so all men are horrible, but I've never been treated horribly.
They
Osmosis.
are being motivated by all these agendas, one of them being the statues and this right here, and telling you who you should be angry at, why you should be upset, why you waking up just mad. Somebody else who says, the crazy thing, I used to walk around and think this was cute to be the angry black woman.
Yeah.
Like I had to live up to that. It was exhausting. I wore it to the point I didn't realize it anymore. So glad for growth, she said.
She thought it was cute. Why?
Because that attitude literally gets you nowhere. It was a protection shield of insecurities for me. Fix it, Jesus. It's played out. Mm-hmm. Right. Let me see, what else do we have here? Let's see, maybe we can read a few more comments. That's when I ask, having a bad day? Here's somebody else who says, you get back what you put in. That color looks good on you. So the next thing that was announced after, you know what, first off, let's read a few comments in response to this video as well. A few people here said, they ghetto as hell. It's not debatable. See?
And to keep again, I don't think ghetto is a term that is only used exclusively for black community or black people. People talk about ghetto all the time. It's a behavior and attitude. That would be it.
People probably defended that. Here's another person who says, well, this is why you check company policies. It says check-in closes 60 minutes before departure time. So who's in the wrong? You see, I have to accept, and you also have to accept this, right? That there are people who sit here and they have no idea. Like when you're running a business, the customer is almost always right.
Right.
You want to make sure you make exceptions as much as possible. And if you're going to turn someone down, even when they're having a bad day, if you want a successful company, and this is part of the problem, right? Is if you live in this world where I should be able to act how I want and do whatever I want, you just are not going to succeed.
Nope.
When it comes to business and it comes to excelling in your career, so on and so forth, because you're competing with people who don't let their emotions take over. They're going to sit there and, you know, at Chick-fil-A or at Starbucks, all these companies.
I've never had an attitude at Chick-fil-A. Never. I love Chick-fil-A. I mean, the food is good, but service, ice cream from there, top notch. I've never had any horrible or even like an awkward or like any type of interaction that was worse than good.
Companies get called exceptional for their customer service. They deal with people with bad attitudes who are most likely in the wrong many times. And they sit there and they have policies also set up to say, hey, always de-escalate. Hey, figure out a way you could make things better so you could keep that line going. You know, we don't want to escalate the situation. But like you have people that think like this. Company policy. And the only thing they're seeing here is an opportunity to use race. Somebody else here said this is true, but their reaction and professionalism is an embarrassment to the establishment.
I mean, yes, it's true, but it's a $25 fee, and he was willing to pay it, so service him.
Should be disciplined. And they were. Somebody else who says, if you don't have a mobile, boarding pass, no gate agent on any airline will be able to print you a boarding pass past a certain point. I've experienced this. I've sat and watched my plane leave on a flight I purchased a seat on. And somebody else here added, but the way they carrying it is crazy. Just tell him he's late and tell him the policy. Again, even if he's in the wrong, the pulling out of
100%.
the phones, the reaction, and it's just too much. It's just too much. And the problem with this is you can either argue this to the death and think the whole world is going to eventually just operate this way, or you can learn and remain stoic and understand that microaggressions and all these things that they teach you on TikTok, they don't fare well in reality. In
They
real
really
life.
don't.
Or you can get fired, which is
They might fare well against simpy men, but in real life, not all simpy men are simping for you.
which has happened. Update: both Frontier agents have reportedly been fired for mocking passenger. Let's read a few
Makes
responses.
sense.
This person's here says, good, got to learn to be more professional. Somebody else here says they need to be more selective of their hires. Wow. Okay. People here actually responding back. As a business owner, customer service is key to success. There is a better way of handling this situation. I would have definitely fired them on the spot.
Damn
I think
right.
we're seeing a lot of people here who are, okay, great. Yeah. What do you guys think? Of course, I'm curious to know. Leave your comments down below.
You know, it's funny because customer service is probably one of the first things I've ever learned when I came to the United States. I came here when I was 5. And then the next day I came to the United States, we went to a donut shop, my aunt's donut shop, to learn. My mom was learning how to, sell donuts. My dad was learning how to bake donuts. I went there in the morning to sleep in the morning, and then I woke up and then, ran around the donut shop. But customer service is key. Even I know this. But we've lost this. We've lost customer service over the years because of entitlement. We think that everybody, is an individual and deserves all this respect and all these things, even though you work for someone else and you're providing a service for someone else, you should still be able to do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, that's how you get failed businesses. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time.